All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Garage Gym Athlete Podcast. Jerred here with Joe Courtney. What's up, Joe?
Hey man, excited for today.
Yeah, this is great, man. We have unlocked the secret, and that's what we're talking about today. So we have discovered, we had to like put our minds together, but we have discovered how to get six-pack abs in 5 minutes of training per week. I know. Okay, whoever don't shut it off. Stick around to the end. We're going to go through everything. We kind of have 3 points here to go through, just things that you need to be thinking about. But in the end, no joke, 5 minutes per week, six-pack abs. I can almost guarantee it. Okay, so watch till the very end or listen to the very end and get all of the points and the steps, and don't miss anything. So we'll start with nutrition. Joe, do you think nutrition is important if you're after the six-pack ab that everybody wants? Do you think it
Probably
matters?
the most important?
Yeah, it might be pretty important. I mean, I could list it as optional for the training for the six-pack abs, but I'm not. I'm actually going to list it as 1000% mandatory, and maybe the only thing that actually matters. But don't worry, we will get into the training that's going to get you there. So nutrition-wise, if someone is looking to shed a little bit of that body fat and they want those six-pack abs to stick out, I mean, what are you thinking? Just maybe a crash diet, 1,000 calories a day,
Maybe 1,000, maybe. Yeah.
Hit 1,000
on the
calories.
Biggest Loser.
Yeah, and we've proven that that's the way you want to go, right? It's just excessive exercise, eat next to nothing, and you're going to have the nutrition dialed in. Okay, messing around with you guys a little bit. The nutrition side of it, if you really want six-pack abs in all seriousness, you need to be in a caloric deficit. That's the main thing. We don't need to get into specific macros, because I think that you could have success with the keto variation of this. I think you could have success with a more moderate, balanced carbohydrate approach. I don't think that stuff matters that much. What I do think matters is you being in a caloric deficit, which red flags, you don't want to be in a caloric deficit forever. We've talked about these things on the podcast, but that's going to be the main thing. And you need to kind of actually be perfect in this area. If you want six-pack abs, there's no I'm going to blow it out on the weekend, give myself some grace. There's none of that shit. If you want six-pack abs, there's no slip ups. There's no mistakes. There's no, I didn't track that. There's no, I ate a scoop of peanut butter without logging my macros. You can't really do any of that. You have to be basically perfect in tracking all of those things, because everybody you see on Instagram that has a six-pack abs that you're super impressed with, they are doing that. They have a perfect macro plan. Their diet is dialed in. They've been doing it for 10 to 20 years, as we've discussed in previous episodes, and they look amazing in having executed daily over decades. But that's the first thing that you're going to want to do before we get to the training that's going to be involved. Basically a perfect diet, no missing, with a caloric deficit, tracking every calorie that goes in your mouth, no mistakes, period, dot. You good with that one? You have anything else to add?
What's the name of this perfect diet? I mean, all the best diets have names, right? They have their strict rules and parameters.
Well, you can just name whatever the hell you want. You could call it the Jerred Moon diet if I was doing it, and insert your name here. Because all I care about is you being in a caloric deficit. So if you want to be Mediterranean or keto or paleo or carnivore, I don't really care. You just need to consume fewer calories than your body actually needs for a given timeline. I'll talk about that timeline a little bit. Next is going to be recovery. So the program that we're going to get in here, the actual 5 minutes that you'll be putting in per week to get these abs, are going to be useless if you're not recovering. So what recovery tips do you have for people in general, Joe? How should they be focusing on recovery?
Sleep, water.
Yep. Okay. Check. We can move on. That's basically what you need to be focusing on. So a lot of sleep. Again, you really can't miss here. I mentioned on the nutrition side that you kind of have to be perfect. There's no misses. Every calorie has to be tracked. You have to be in that deficit. Now, on the recovery side, I'm going to say the exact same thing. Your sleep needs to be perfect. You need 8 to 9 hours of sleep every single day, and you can't really have an off night. And there's no oh, well, I want to wake up early. I want to grind. I want to be the hard charger. You can't, you're going to have to put all that shit away. You need to really focus on getting a lot of sleep, because that's where a lot of this recovery is going to happen. Hydration will be important as well. But I mean, everything else that we talk about when it comes to recovery, whether you're doing a sauna or an ice bath or zone 2 cardio or getting vitamin D and, digestion and all these other things, those suggestions are nowhere near as powerful as sleep. So I think we could just sum it up to get some sleep, drink some water. But again, no messing around here. Don't make any mistakes. You need 8 to 9 hours of sleep every single day. Do not screw that up. Anything else on the recovery side?
No. De-stress.
No. There we go. Oh yeah. And limit all stress in your life. Try to have none, actually. Like if you could go, I know we all have a little bit of stress in our lives, but if like you got a new baby like Joe or 3 kids like me, you might just have to take a break from those things for a while. Like maybe like if you could go like to a hotel room or like an Airbnb for like several weeks to months to like, I mean, it's important. Those 6-pack abs are important. You just have to decide which one's more important. Would it be spending time with your newborn child or looking good at the beach, Joe? I'm not going to make you answer that question out loud, but you know what I mean? Like,
I'm sure everyone's bosses will understand pushing deadlines and not getting work done in a timely manner because it's just too much stress.
Yeah. In fact, quit your job, maybe. I mean, well, that might be more stressful to not have a job. So yeah, I don't know. Everybody can just weigh it for themselves.
I mean, you're eating less food, so you're spending less in the grocery store.
Yeah, we're got most of your problems covered so far. Okay, now let's get into the actual, this is the third part. So we kind of went over the nutrition needed, no mistakes, track every single calorie, caloric deficit, recovery, really focus on sleep. Again, no mistakes, and cut all stress out of your life you can, you have to. So do that as well. And then lastly, the program. So this is where the 5 minutes of exercise comes in per week. So I'm going to kind of list it out for you. Yeah, you're going to have to do this at least once a week. You can spread these exercises out throughout the week. And I'll kind of talk about the benefits of each one. So the first one is going to be a 5x5 front squat. So we're all familiar with the front squat. And so you're going to be doing a 5x5 front squat. It's phenomenal for your abdominals. Look at that. See that? Phenomenal for the abdomen. Yeah. So you want to load. And again, you can increase weight each set. So set 1 to set 2, and then even week to week. And then the next exercise would be 4 sets of 10 toes to bar. So again, toes to bar, strict toes to bar. We don't like any of that kipping crap, trying to keep the vertical torso, and slow and controlled. Every single repetition, slow and controlled. And then the last exercise is going to be 4 sets of 20 Russian twists total with a kettlebell. Again, you're going to want to go get this rotational movement. You're getting another plane of movement in here. And so you're going to want to do all of these exercises at least once per week. Now, a 5x5 front squat, I'm giving you about 10 seconds per set of 5. And so that's going to be about 50 seconds worth of work. I'll round it up. I'll give you a minute. So that's a minute worth of exercise. So obviously not counting any, like we don't need to worry about like rest in between sets or like any of that crap. So you got a minute of exercise there. And then the toes to bar, I'm giving you about 30 seconds to do 10 reps of controlled 10 controlled toes to bar. So that's going to be 2 minutes worth of exercise to knock out all of your toes to bar. And then lastly, on the Russian twist, I'll give you the same. So they're faster exercise than a slow and controlled toes to bar. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do 20 reps. That's another 2 minutes. So you have 2 minutes of Russian twists, all said and done, worth of work. Again, I'm not counting any of the rest in here. And then toes to bar, you're going to be doing 2 minutes worth of work. Not counting any of the rest. And then front squat, you have a minute worth of work, but it might be the hardest thing that you do that day or maybe even that week. So that's it. 5 minutes of exercise, those 3 in a week, along with the other things that we've mentioned. Again, no misses, no imperfections. You have to have your nutrition dialed in, spot on, perfect, your recovery, sleep, no stress. And then you follow this program and really only counting the work periods and none of the rest times or what the entire training session will look like. And you've got 6-pack abs in 5 minutes worth of work per week. I mean, does anything that I said sound that hard or complicated to do?
No, simple. I mean, yeah, you're only actually working your ass for 5 minutes. That's all you need. Just 5 minutes of work.
That's it. And you will have it. Now, you will probably have to follow this program for anywhere between I don't know, if you have the nutrition, the recovery, and you're doing the 5 minutes that we talked about, then it would be about, let's just say 1 to 2 years of consistent work with everything I said, no misses, no mistakes. And your abs are going to pop. I mean, they're going to be like, you're going to look like a Ninja Turtle. It's going to be amazing. And,
Why? I mean, actually, a lot of us might already look like Ninja Turtles.
I don't mean the body comp. I mean like how big their abs are. So you're gonna have these big, thick abs that just like everyone is so impressed at. So when you go to the beach and you're showing off these abs after you followed our program here, and you put in the 1 to 2 years worth of work, and okay, you got these nice abs. Let's just put it in my perspective, and then your wife doesn't really care. She's like, okay, whatever. Like you have abs, you don't have abs. I don't care. And then you're like, okay, well, that was all right. She doesn't care that much. And then you go to the beach and then you see like 1 or 2 people, they look at you and they're like, damn, those are nice abs. And you don't actually know if they're thinking that, but you think in your head, they're looking at my abs.
You're hoping. I mean, you put on all that work.
But really it's just some dude or girl who's like, where did they get those sunglasses? I've never seen sunglasses like that before. Or like, why is that guy so white? You know, like his body's okay, but he's so pasty white. Like what happened?
Are you talking about yourself?
Yeah. I'm just like throwing like whatever. You think people are looking at you for these abs that you work so hard for. And then guess what? Let's just say that you're on the beach. 10 people notice your amazing abs, your muscles that are just popping. You worked so hard for. And then they're going to go back to their hotel room or Airbnb, wherever they're at, back to their house. And they will never think about you ever again. Ever. You will not be a thought in their head for even a second after you have impressed them with 2 years worth of hard work for those abs. And so if you guys haven't gotten it up to this point, this was a little bit of truth, a lot of bit of satire to getting 6-pack abs. And if you kind of watched up to this point, I would just, why did you even want to watch this video or listen to this podcast in the first place? Like, did you really think that there's some sort of 5-minute solution to getting abs? The answer is no. You have to put in work for those kind of things daily over decades. And then the second thing I just like to point out is like, who really cares? Like, if you look at the science and the study, too low of body fat is actually a bad thing. Like it can actually suppress your immune system when your body fat gets ridiculously low. And it's not a sustainable thing. Like bodybuilders do it for a show, but then they bounce back up. And then eventually their career's over and like, who knows what happens. So like these things they're not great goals. And I don't like to crap on people's goals, but the science and the research backs me up. When you focus on an intrinsic goal over an extrinsic goal, your likelihood of sticking to that goal increases many times over. So an intrinsic goal would be, I want to do this for my family. I want to be healthy. I want to live a longer life, or I want to get good at being able to do a squat or a clean or better at running. These are more intrinsic. Like you're actually looking for competence and enjoyment in the things that you're doing versus extrinsic motivators, 6-pack abs, the way you look, all these other things that, to be honest, if you don't truly care about those things super deep down, that why, i.e. I want 6-pack abs, is not going to stick around with you for the long term. It might be a good short-term goal. Hey, if you've always wanted 6-pack abs and you want to knock that off your bucket list, go for it. But it can't be your goal forever, right? And you might not even be able to maintain those 6-pack abs throughout the entire lifespan. Again, because like maybe you don't care, maybe you don't want to do everything I've said that you need to do to be able to do those things, to maintain them for long periods of time. But that's it, guys. Like just things to be thinking about, because the fitness industry is ridiculous, and people will sell you on all this crap, but without the intrinsic goals and focusing things on daily over decades, you're going to be in a world of hurt, and your health can suffer by focusing on the wrong type of goals as well. Yeah.
And even, joking and satire aside, there's still shreds of truth in what we laid out. And that's that your diet and nutrition are going to be huge. Your recovery is going to be huge. And the programming is a pretty small piece of the puzzle. While you should have really good programming, it's still only, with our programming, it's 1 hour a day. But everything else you do is going to be much longer. Sleep is 8 to 9 hours. Diet and nutrition, you're going to be a couple of hours of thought and actually energy you're putting in per day. So those are actually the hardest parts of it anyway. And that's probably why it should be one of the main focuses.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, I selected those exercises for a reason, like front squat instead of back squat. And like, I put some thought into those things because you do need to get some rotational movements. You should probably get some isometric movements. You also need to get some heavy loading to build your entire abdominal muscles. Like sit-ups are nowhere near as good as like a front squat for increasing your abdominal strength. So again, like a lot of truth, and the same with diet. Like you can't screw up your diet on a weekly basis and expect to have 6-pack abs. Like, so me saying you need to be perfect, while that might be a little bit of an extreme, you need to have pretty freaking dialed in. Like diet should not be a challenging thing for you. Like if you struggle with chocolate cake on a daily basis, then 6-pack abs maybe shouldn't be in your like line of sight right now. Maybe focus on something else first. And then same with recovery. If you're sleeping 3 to 4 hours a night, 5 hours, like what do you expect? Like, what do you want? So anyway, focus on those things. But that's it for today. I don't know if we're going to have angry people or happy people after this one. You guys let us know if you're on YouTube or if you're in our Facebook group. Give us some feedback in the comments on YouTube or in Facebook group. Let us know what you think about this content because we are really just trying to help you guys out, help out all garage gym athletes all around the world. If you are on YouTube, we'd love it if you subscribe to the channel so you can be notified about when we tackle how to get 6-pack abs in 3 minutes. It might be shorter than that. Or, other fun content that we are producing, a lot of the scientific studies on Monday and everything else that we like to cover. So give us that thumbs up, subscribe, leave us some comments. And then again, your favorite podcast player, 5-star review, positive comment really helps the show out. And we'd really appreciate it. But thanks guys. Thanks for watching or listening. For listening to the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. If you want to learn more, go to garagegymathlete.com. You can learn about our training. Let us send you a copy of our book, The Garage Gym Athlete, or you can even get featured on the Garage Gym Athlete podcast. Thanks for listening.